Hey guys, Drifter here. Happy New Year and Happy New Me. As you've seen from the title of this video, I am finally well. I'm going to put a little asterisk on that because we got a lot to talk about here, but a whole team of doctors have finally cleared me for return to normal. I have no more appointments, no more physical therapy, no more blood draws, no more specialists, almost no medication. I'm basically cut loose and allowed to live like a normal human being again, and you have no idea how good that feels after spending nearly a year in constant pain, unknown medical issues, unable to game, unable to sit, walk, work, can't regulate temperatures, can barely keep my mind on straight with all the hormones doing crazy things. I've been basically out of it. I've been out in outer space for about 10 months now, and I'm finally coming back to reality, and it feels great. So a quick rundown on what's going on. As many of you know, my spine is in two pieces. You're supposed to have your spine in one contiguous piece. Mine kind of cracked and is in two. Over the course of the hormone problems, I have managed to injure it not once, not twice, but 3 times because I couldn't maintain any muscle mass. Kind of all the muscles in my core hold it together. And when they get weak, it gets a little bit loosey-goosey, hurting it as recently as last week. But thankfully, all of those have been minor. They've all been things that I can recover from relatively quickly, and I can start building strength again. And I'm on a very good path with the back to return to normal and streaming and all of that. So I'm going to wager in a couple of weeks, I may actually be back pain free. Pretty low right now, which is great. On the topic of hormones, those have been balanced properly, and they seem to be long-term stable with as much as 1 pill per day. That's the only medication I have to take anymore. We've been about 4 or 5 months on my current treatment program, and it seems to not be changing anytime soon. And I feel normal. My testosterone is normal. My estrogen is normal. All of my other various body hormones are all more or less registering normal, and they don't show any signs of changing, which is fantastic. The pituitary tumor that I found in my head, which I still suspect is what caused the majority of these problems, appears to be benign. All the testing and analysis and blah, blah, blah shows that it isn't growing, it isn't super big, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be something that's going to get worse, but I do have to check on it every year or two. And then finally, the weirder problems at the end. You saw me in a couple of videos with like hand braces and stuff, because my hands, I've been able to use my hands for like 3 or 4 months now, but that is basically fixed. I had a thoracic compression, which crushed all the nerves and arteries and veins in my neck as my body lost muscle mass. That kind of happened. Yay, hormones. Never mess with your hormones is the lesson you should take away. But I did a lot of physical therapy, a lot of strength building. I got my regular hormones back in my body, started to repair itself. That area has opened back up. The nerves are no longer pinched, and the arteries and veins are pumping blood like they're supposed to. So it's doing pretty good. I've got just barely less than normal male strength in my hands. Endurance probably isn't great. They're a little bit prone to injury because I haven't been able to use them properly for almost 4 months now. But the strength is normal, the nerves are normal, the blood is normal, and I am cleared to return to normal gaming whenever I see fit, as much as it is comfortable to me. And that is just a relief from heaven itself that I get to game again, and I'm super happy about that. So my overall condition here is well. I am cured, stable, discharged, understood, and analyzed mostly. There is one thing that is pending. I did do a massive genetics test, and that's going to take, I don't even know when they're going to be done with that, but I'm going to get an email, I suppose, with all of the results in weeks, months, who knows. But I've been discharged from everything. So I'm good. I'm actually good for the first time in a year. There are a few downsides. It's been a rough year. I've gone through 4 or 5 massive hormone changes, the kind that you should probably only go through like once per year generously. A couple of physical injuries, a couple of random injuries, a lot of things. So even at the end of all this wellness, I'm still weak. I know that I am significantly weaker than I was last year. I don't have the same endurance, and I'm still more prone to re-injury, as I've said many times already. But I should be able to kind of get back to working out, get back to push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, things like that, slowly kind of build my strength back and go back to normal over the next month or two. But then the question is, what is normal now? I've spent a whole year living in a situation that is very much so not normal to me, and I don't know what sort of normal I can return to, especially having had a questionable content quality for so long. I don't know how to go back to just banging out guides. In my downtime while I was ill, as many of you have noticed, the YouTube videos were minimal, but I still had bills to pay. I still had a family to take care of. So I kind of got good at doing a lot of other things to make money. I do about 10 Twitter videos a day, maybe 15. It pays good for the amount of effort required. Twitter is no YouTube, but it does pretty well for, 30-second videos and clips and stuff. I did a lot of trading, a lot of highly speculative trading that has worked out in my favor. I've done some consulting, some sponsor work, and just some various side businesses that have actually paid me quite well. So I'm doing good financially. Oddly, doesn't make any sense. I haven't been able to work, still doing good financially. But that leads me to a weird place. Even though I'm doing pretty well in my personal life, in terms of my perception, reputation, algorithmic ranking, competition, and all that sort of social media YouTube stuff, I have been completely, totally unmade and replaced. The infrequency of uploads and the oddness of the uploads, seeing as my gaming time is very limited, has mean that the algorithm is now more stacked against me than ever before. On top of that, I have more competition from guide makers in this space than I have ever seen in my entire life. All of these people are great. Ace, JGod, True Game Data. Then, you got Iceman Isaac, and got tons of people making Battle Royale content. And in my absence, they've been slowly replacing me over the years, doing great work. They're all great people. But in my near total absence, I was nearly totally replaced. And in that sense of who I used to be in the social media space, how people used to know me, what I used to be skilled at, the kind of guy that I used to be is no more. I'm just not that guy anymore. I'm out of the loop, behind the curve, unable to play, unable to test, just way behind the competition. And I'm just not who I used to be, both mentally and physically. I don't think that I have it in me to maintain a competitive edge on guide content anytime soon. There'll still be some of it. I've still got a couple of guides planned for Call of Duty, but I think that the writing is on the wall that it's soon going to be time for me to step away from that and do something different. So as of right now, as a person, I'm feeling good. As a content creator, I feel broken, basically. I feel like if there was a picture of me, it's been smashed into a million pieces, and now I just kind of have to glue it back together. But that gives me the opportunity to glue it back together into something new and something more interesting. I don't know what the future of this channel is right now. I don't know what the future content is going to be. Honestly, a part of me is still mortified that in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to get hurt again, and this whole cycle is going to start all over, because that's been kind of the story of the last year. I hope that's not true, but I'm kind of putting the pieces back together, kind of wanting to ramp up content, planning some things, getting back to streaming, and I just don't know what it's going to be. I'm just drawing a total blank, like you've seen on my last videos and content. If I had to guess, it's going to be gaming, and then a lot more different kind of like weird stuff than the last decade. I think I kind of want to get into doing cannabis and Delta 8 related content. The last video I did for the Weed Farm Tour did super good. I'll do a little bit more stuff like that. I kind of want to do more media. I kind of want to play more games. I kind of just want to step away from grinding out guides and to get to be a bit more of a person here. Though the downside to that is, as far as the algorithm is concerned, that unmakes me even more. Yeah, I'm rambling a bit, but the point is that things are going pretty well on almost everything except for YouTube itself, which I'm kind of clueless on what to do next with. But I think that you're going to be seeing more of me in 2022, and hopefully a healthier, happier me without so many weird complaints and giant, like 2-3 week unexplained absences from content creation. So thank you to all of you who have followed me for not only for this particularly painful journey, but through several of the other ones that we've been through over the last couple of years, and maybe even over the last decade. And I hope to still be making content for you in 2032. Drifter out.